Hello and welcome back to the Conquer Depression video series. In the last video I talked about emotion and how the important thing is to allow ourselves to feel emotion, how emotion is a complex physiological process that affects all of our body and all of our brain and frequently drives our thinking. So the key is to get in touch with emotion, allow ourselves to feel it and simply act on it. In this video I want to talk about cultivating your connection with your inner wisdom. We all have a core, we all have a wisdom, or as some people will call it, an internal guidance system that is like an energy that moves through us, that will take us and move us in the right directions for us. Now, as a very much thinking orientated culture, our tendency is to believe that we have to think everything through. And this is compounded by the fact that emotion often fuels our thinking. So that there's a sense that if there's a problem, it needs to be solved by thinking about it. Now, my belief is that thinking actually only makes things worse when we are talking about ourselves. I'm not talking about if you have a complex maths problem to solve or a work project you have to do. I'm talking about when we're looking at ourselves and choices about steps we take in our lives or decisions that we have to make about our lives. And I'm talking about small day-to-day choices and decisions that everybody makes. When we're looking at those sorts of choices, ideally we want to be accessing our internal guidance, our inner wisdom or our core, rather than going through a process of trying to think everything through. As I say, especially when emotion is present, because that takes us into a thinking mode which takes us away from this internal wisdom. So what often happens is, and again as I touched on this in the last video, is that if emotion is produced in the body, which affects the brain, our thinking centers become active, and there is a sense that I need to solve a problem here, and the pattern is rationalizing, trying to figure it out, trying to create scenarios, or just being hard on yourself through your thinking patterns. Now, if there is something that needs solving, that solving is not going to come through thinking. The solving will come through allowing your internal guidance to guide you in the right direction for you. And the way to connect with that is really to let yourself get out of the way, to pull your attention into your body, to remind yourself that thinking will only get in the way and there's nothing that needs to be solved. I think that's a really crucial point. There is this idea that if I'm in discomfort, there's a problem that needs to be solved. If I've got an uncomfortable emotion, there's a problem that needs to be solved. Whereas if you can turn that around and allow yourself to believe that there is nothing that needs solving, I can simply allow myself to feel whatever my emotions are. If I need to act in them, do that. But otherwise just get out of the way and trust that your internal guidance will take you, your internal wisdom will bring into your awareness, your consciousness, what needs to happen, the direction that you need to go in. You know, it's really common for people to say things like, oh, I have my best ideas in the shower, or when I'm driving my car, or when I'm riding my bike. Those times when we are kind of fully present in the moment, those times when we are not thinking about things, when we get sort of flashes of insight, when the nudges, the feelings, the little intuitive insights come to us. And those are the things that we really need to pay attention to. Those are the parts that help us. That's the information, that's our core that we need to be connecting to, that gives us information that's right for us. So I'm kind of imploring you to believe that there is an inner wisdom inside of you that will guide you. You don't need to think about everything. So when you notice that chattering head begin to go, just remind yourself, there's nothing that needs solving here. All I need to do is get out of the way, pull my attention into my body, connect with my core, and just trust that whatever shows up will be right for me. I will be pulled in whatever direction I need to be pulled. So I hope that's useful. Get out of the way, reconnect, just be in your body and trust that you don't need to think everything through. You don't need to solve anything. You can just allow yourself to be guided by the little nudges and the little flashes of insight. See you in the next video.